Hello, YouTube. Sir Dragon X here. Imagine waking up to find out that your adopted country just put your home country in the diplomatic doghouse. That's exactly what happened to foreigners across Mexico recently. President Manuel López Obrador announcement has sent shockwaves throughout Mexico. But what's really going on behind the headlines, and how does this affect you? You may be surprised. Let's unpack this together, shall we? President Manuel López Obrador's decision to pause diplomatic relations with the U.S. and Canadian embassies has come after criticism of his proposed judicial reforms. These reforms include the direct election of judges, which has raised concerns about the independence of Mexico's judiciary. The U.S. and Canadian ambassadors have voiced worries that these changes could threaten the $1.8 trillion trade relationship between our countries. As a United States citizen or Canadian citizen in Mexico, you might be wondering what this means for your daily life and, more importantly, your finances. Will this political showdown impact your wallet? That's exactly what we're going to explore in today's video, so stick around as we break down the peso's roller coaster ride and what it means for you. While headlines scream diplomatic tensions, savvy expats are quietly celebrating. The peso's recent nosedive to 19.8 against the dollar isn't just a number. It's a potential gold mine for those in the know. But here's the real question. How long will this unexpected windfall last? Let's dive into what's really going on with the peso right now. The recent diplomatic pause between Mexico and the northern neighbors has sent ripples through the financial markets, causing the peso to depreciate significantly. This means that for every US dollar or Canadian dollar you have, you're now getting more pesos in return. It's like getting a discount on everything in Mexico without even trying. But what's really happening? Well, it's not just about diplomatic tensions. Investor concerns regarding proposed judicial reforms in Mexico have played a significant role in the peso's volatility. These reforms are seen as a potential threat to the independence of the judiciary and the stabilities of Mexico's legal and business environment. U.S. Ambassador Ken Salazar didn't mince words when he described these reforms as a major risk to the functioning of Mexico's democracy. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds pretty serious. Should I be worried? It's a valid concern. The $1.8 trillion trade relationship between these countries is no small potatoes, and any threat to that can cause economic uncertainty. This uncertainty is like kryptonite for investors, leading to a sell-off of the peso and contributing to its depreciation. But here's where things get interesting. Despite the current volatility, financial experts are painting a different picture for the future. They're suggesting that the peso may actually strengthen in the medium to long term. Why? Well, it's all about the numbers. Mexico currently has higher interest rates compared to the U.S., which can make it an attractive option for investors looking for a better return. Plus, there's a growing trend called nearshoring, where companies are moving their operations closer to home, and Mexico is benefiting from this shift. In fact, some expert forecasts are surprisingly optimistic for the Mexican peso. They're predicting that the peso could trade at 17.31 by the end of the quarter and potentially be at 17.91 within the next 12 months. That's quite a turnaround from where we are now. So, what does this mean for you as a foreigner in Mexico? Well, in the short term, it's like you hit the jackpot. Your US dollars or Canadian dollars are stretching further, making everything from tacos to rent a little more affordable. It's a great time to stock up on pesos or make big purchases you've been considering. But remember, what goes down can go up. If the experts are right and the peso strengthens, this golden period of increased purchasing power won't last forever. It's a bit like catching a wave. You want to ride it while it lasts, but also be prepared for when it eventually breaks. In the next section, we'll explore exactly how you can make the most of the situation. We'll look at strategies for managing your finances during this uncertain period, and I'll share a personal story from an expat who's been through similar economic shifts before. Trust me, you don't want to miss these practical tips and lessons learned. With the peso on a roller coaster, your financial decisions today could make or break your expat experience. What if I told you there was a way to turn this economic uncertainty into your personal gold mine? As a foreigner in Mexico, you're in a unique position to benefit from the current peso depreciation. Remember when I mentioned the exchange rate hitting 19.8 pesos to the dollar? Well, that's not just a number on a screen, it's real money in your pocket. Your US dollars or Canadian dollars are now stretching further than ever before. But what does this mean for your daily life? Simply put, everything got cheaper. The apartment you've been eyeing, more affordable. The favorite restaurant, you can now afford to eat more often. It's like getting a raise without even asking for one. Let me share a real life example. I recently spoke with a friend of mine, an expat who's been living in Mexico for several years. He's told me that when the peso dropped, my income in dollars allowed me to afford a nicer apartment and enjoy more dining out, which I couldn't do before. His story isn't unique. Many expats are finding themselves with unexpected financial wiggle room. But here's the thing, this situation may not last forever. Economic tides can turn quickly, and you need to be prepared. So, how can you make the most out of this opportunity while it lasts? Although you want to stock up on pesos, first consider diversifying your money. While keeping some money in pesos for day-to-day expenses is practical and taking advantage of it, it might be wise to maintain a portion of your savings in your bank in your home country. This can help protect you from future peso fluctuations. Timing your currency exchanges can make a big difference. If you have the flexibility, consider exchanging larger amounts when the peso is particularly weak. Just keep an eye on those exchange rates. They can change daily. For those of you thinking about making big purchases like property, now might be a good time to act. With the peso's depreciation, real estate in Mexico has become more affordable for foreign buyers. Plus, if the peso strengthens in the future, you could see a significant return on your investment. However, it's not all sunshine and tacos. While a weaker peso increases your purchasing power, it can also lead to inflationary pressures in the Mexican economy. This means prices for goods and services could start to creep up over time, potentially offsetting some of your gains. This is why it's crucial to stay informed and adaptable. Keep an eye on the exchange rate and be ready to adjust your strategy as needed. Remember, financial experts are predicting that the peso could strengthen in the medium to long term. So while it's great to enjoy the benefits now, it's equally important to plan for the future where your purchasing power may not be as strong. Now, I know all this financial talk might seem a little bit overwhelming, and I'm not a financial expert, but there's the bottom line. This current situation presents a unique opportunity for expats in Mexico. By making smart financial decisions now, you can not only enjoy a higher quality of life in the short term, but you can set yourself up for long-term financial stability. Now, you might be thinking you've got this all figured out with these current financial advantages, but hold on. There's a $1.8 trillion reason why this diplomatic pause could turn your expat dreams upside down. Want to know what it is? That $1.8 trillion represents a trade relationship between Mexico and the United States. It's not just a number, it's an economic backbone that supports countless jobs, businesses, and yes, even your expat life. When diplomatic relations get rocky, this massive economic engine can start to sputter. So what's really going on behind the scenes? President Manuel López Obrador's proposed judicial reforms have raised serious concerns. The U.S. Ambassador Ken Salazar didn't mince words when he called these reforms a major risk to the functioning of Mexico's democracy. It may seem like political talk, but it's a warning that could impact foreign investment. But here's where it gets complicated. López Obrador is on his way out, and Claudia Sheinbaum is stepping in. She supports these judicial reforms, which means we might be in for a bumpy ride. The transition of power could either smooth things over or add fuel to the fire. Now, I know what you're thinking. How does this political drama affect me? Remember that peso roller coaster we talked about earlier? Political instability often leads to economic uncertainty. And uncertainty? That's kryptonite for investors. If these tensions continue or escalate, we could see further peso depreciation, making your dollar stretch even further. Sounds great, right? Not so fast. While a weaker peso might seem like a win for expats in the short term, it's not all sunshine and margaritas. A prolonged period of economic instability could lead to inflation, potentially erasing those exchange rate gains. Plus, if investor confidence takes a serious hit, it could impact everything from real estate prices to the cost of everyday goods. But let's not paint a picture that's too gloomy. There's always another side to the coin. Some experts believe that despite the current tensions, Mexico's economic fundamentals remain strong. The country's higher interest rates compared to the U.S. could continue to attract investors looking for better return. And let's not forget about nearshoring, companies moving operations closer to home. Mexico stands to benefit significantly from this trend, potentially offsetting some of the negative impacts of the diplomatic pause. So, what does this all mean for you as an expat living in Mexico? It's time to think long term. While you're enjoying the benefits of a favorable exchange rate now, it's crucial to prepare for potential shifts in the economic landscape. Diversifying your money and staying informed about political developments will be key to navigating these uncertain waters. And don't forget, the expat community in Mexico has weathered political and economic storms before. Your ability to adapt and make informed decisions will be your greatest asset. Stay connected with your fellow expats, keep an eye on the local news, and don't be afraid to adjust your strategies as a situation evolves. Today, we've explored how the diplomatic pause between Mexico and its northern neighbors is affecting our wallets. The key takeaway? Stay informed and adaptable. The peso's depreciation offers opportunities, but it's crucial to plan for potential economic shifts. Remember, expat communities have weathered storms before. Your ability to adapt is your greatest asset. Keep an eye on the local news and diversify your money. This resilience is what makes living in Mexico both challenging and rewarding. I'd love to hear your experiences navigating these changes. How are you making the most of this current situation? Share your strategies in the comment section below. Together, we can build a supportive community that thrives even in uncertain times. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed.